name's Dorje Kirsten. I'm a professional astrologer, and I'm here to talk right now because Saturn in Pisces has just gone direct. Saturn was retrograde over the last 5 months, and it's gone direct. What does this mean for you? That's what I'm going to talk about. It is important to understand it in the context of your life because it helps you make sense over some of the challenges that you may have experienced over the last 5 months and how to put them into the context of you developing as a human and as a soul who's traveling through this earth. You see, astrology is a tool of timing. That's what people need to understand because most people think of astrology as a tool of prediction per se, and it can predict because prediction is a subcategory of timing. Or I prefer to think of it as a tool for understanding how the world's unfolding, including historical events, because those are also sub periods of timing. So astrology is really the art of time. It is a way and the science of looking at time and coming to understand time, both into the future and in the past and in the present. And through that, gaining greater clarity and understanding of who you are. When I give readings, that is exactly what I am trying to do. So, since timing is not physical, the utility of astrology is often missed by people who are not paying attention or not taking the time to really understand it. So, you could say, like, well, Leo means I'm a party animal, and that's cool. That's good. That's good astrology. That's called psychological astrology or pop astrology. But it's a little bit different to understand that when, like, Saturn is stationed in Pisces, then what you're going to start experiencing is feeling stuck or feeling low energy, because low energy is a quality of Saturn since it moves so slowly from the perception of those who live on the earth. A feeling of low energy, a feeling of stuckness, because station means not moving, and Saturn's very heavy and slow as it is, in a certain area of your life that you may have been feeling for the previous 5 months because Saturn was retrograding into Pisces. Pisces has to do with the ocean, it has to do with water, it has to do with emotions, it has to do with psyches, it has to do with consciousness and spirituality. There's a host of themes associated with Pisces. But when you say Saturn is moving into Pisces as an astrologer, one of the things you're really looking at to get a sense of timing is where is Pisces in your astrological chart? For me, Pisces is in my third house, which has to do with writing. And my writing slowed way down over the last 5 months. You see, Pisces retrograde, and then it felt really stuck while it was stationed, and now it's starting to move forward. Brilliant ideas coming through. But the essence of what I'm trying to say is you have to look at where Pisces is in your astrology chart. I recommend by whole sign in order to understand the timing that you're going through. So, for instance, if you had Pisces in your sixth house per se, then you might have experienced either stuckness at work, stuckness through your labors, those are sixth house topics, or stagnation in your health. That also will arise from that stopping, that stationing, and that moving forward of Saturn that occurred this weekend. So, whatever house it's in, with Pisces is your 10th house, then that would be in your Gemini rising, and that means that you'd be feeling that at home, or I mean in your career. Whereas if, like, say Pisces was in your 11th house of friendships, and you could feel like some friendships have been stuck recently. Yeah, that would be if you're a Taurus rising. If you're an Aries rising and Pisces was in your 11th house, then you could feel kind of like difficulty or heaviness from the overconsumption of any kind of intoxicants, because that's a 12th house rule, and then Pisces is in your 12th house if you're an Aries rising. Or it could also be like a heaviness within your own spiritual practice, within your own mental practice. I assume everybody has a spiritual practice. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but that's just generally my assumption. So you've got to understand that where that Pisces is and where that Saturn station, then that's where that effect is going to come into your life. Now, I'm offering readings on the direct motion of Saturn right now, special reading series, which I'm offering just through this month of December. You can find it at my website, heartastrology.com. If you want, I will look at your chart with you and help you understand what has been stuck and how to successfully move it forward within your experience. It's a process whereby you'd learn a little astrology, and then there'd be a little bit more clarity that we would come to through our conversation there of how to move forward in any area you've been feeling stuck. But I'm just doing that as the astrologer. Of course, it's also possible for you to look at your own chart, examine it, and study it, and feel and understand by the placement of Saturn in Pisces, the planet that's aspecting what areas of your life you have been stuck or weighed down, and that you need to put some of your soul's consciousness or your psychological consciousness into in order to move forward in your life or feel like you're growing and evolving. Now, it's a little bit tricky to say growing and evolving because I come from the view that the universe is eternal, souls are eternal, that souls come, move through embodiment and then dissolve all through eternity. And so there's no real sense of growth in the context of eternity. But we as humans, we as beings that are living on the earth, love to feel like we're growing. So we need to set up for ourselves goals and grow to those goals. Saturn moving direct is the opportunity to lay the foundation and framework and to slowly build and grow into your goals, as it'll be direct until next June. And then it will go retrograde again. And we will start the cycle over again because, and this is part of the timing of astrology that I was talking about, the art of astrology is about timing. And timing means cycles of growth and contraction. And one of the ways of measuring that is the motions of Saturn being direct and retrograde. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you do, please like, subscribe to my channel, share it with friends so I can continue to grow. If you want a reading, www.heartastrology.com. Stay tuned to this channel. I'm going to give more explanation on very nuanced, simple principles that you find in the art of astrology.